Hi everybody. It has been a busy day, but I didn't want the day to get away from me without doing a quick Facebook Live and saying hi to all of you. I do these Pennie Heart to Heart every week and talk to you about my writing that I post for the week. And I posted it actually this morning, and it would go out in my newsletter. And so you may have had a chance to read it, you may have not. But the writing is called No Lifeguard on Duty. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about why I wrote it and what was going through my mind and thoughts I've had about it since I've written it, actually. I wrote it, let me just start by saying I love water. I'm a bit of a water baby. I grew up water skiing. In my younger years, we had a boat that we would ski in weekly, sometimes daily. And I love all kinds of water. I love lakes. I love oceans. I love swimming pools. I love the sound of water. I have a water feature in my home that I hear water all the time in my house. I love water. So I wrote this when I was on a trip, and there was a swimming pool, and I, as I often do, decided to go swimming. And when I jumped in, there was this big sign, and that is the picture that I took that's along with my blog. And the sign said, "Warning, no lifeguard on duty." Now, because I am a fairly decent swimmer, that didn't bother me at all. So I jumped right in. I, on this day, had the pool to myself. And I remember paddling around the pool and swimming around the pool, and I just kept looking at that sign and thinking about life and how sometimes maybe we think we should have a little personal lifeguard to guard our life and keep us from having any kind of troubles at all in life. And we don't. We don't have that little personal lifeguard that follows us around and says, don't do that and don't do this. Now, you can say we have a conscience, and that keeps us from doing some bad things. And we have rules and laws in our world that keep us from doing things. But we really don't have personal lifeguards that protect us and keep us in a happy little everything is perfect kind of world or kind of life. We don't have that. And so that's why as I swam around that day, and I kept looking at that sign every time I went up and down the pool and thinking about that and life and how we don't have these lifeguards that protect us and guard us. And sometimes I fear that keeps people from doing what they really want to do in life, or doing what they should do in life, or reaching their potential because they're afraid. Nobody's there to protect us. And so what if we jump in that swimming pool and we can't swim? Or what if we jump in that swimming pool and we start to have problems and the water gets rough or the ocean gets rough and nobody's there to save us? And so we don't do things out of fear because we think it's too scary. There's a chance that I might not be a good enough swimmer and nobody's there to help me, so I'm just not going to do it. And I'm afraid that keeps people from doing things that they'd really love to do in life or really be successful at because of this fear that nobody's there to protect them. And since I wrote that, and my life lesson was, don't be afraid. Just jump in and enjoy life, because you can either jump in and swim and feel the water and maybe win the race, or you can stand at the sideline and hold somebody's towel and watch them do everything that you really want to do. And that was my life lesson. I had another thought, though, since I wrote that maybe this is the whole point. We are not supposed to have a personal lifeguard, because it is in the difficulties and the tragedies and the hard stuff and the failures that we learn so many wonderful lessons. And if we had a personal lifeguard say, no, stop, don't do that, it might not be good, we wouldn't get those lessons. We wouldn't have the experience. We wouldn't learn the lessons that we're supposed to learn. We wouldn't benefit from it so that the next time we try it, we're better. And maybe that's the whole point. So I've been thinking a lot about it after I wrote it and thought, I wish I would have added that, and so that's why I wanted to talk about it today. I wanted to tell you that I think it's the whole point. We're not supposed to be protected and saved all the time. We've all had, or if you haven't, you will have tragedy in your life, and you will have difficult circumstances, and stuff happens in life. Not the way we planned, not the way we wanted it to. I wrote about soul slaps and airbag moments, and how a soul slap and an airbag moment happens in life, and everything stops and everything changes, and we can't fix it many times, and things change, but we learn so many lessons, and we learn so much from the experience that I believe that's the whole point. We are not supposed to always have a lifeguard watching our life, guarding us from dangers, or guarding us from trouble, or guarding us from tragedy, because we are supposed to experience all of it. That is the whole point of being here in life. I, as always, include the link if you didn't have time to, if you haven't read it yet, or if you haven't read the newsletter yet, if you're one of my newsletter subscribers, you can always follow the link that I include above this, or maybe below, depending on where you find this video. You can find the link and go and read it and listen to my audio. And I would love to hear from you. Many times I don't have a lot of questions during these Pennie heart-to-heart lives. I don't have a lot of questions, but many times people will send me emails or comment when it's not live anymore, but they still watch it. And I always answer every comment I get. I answer every email I get. And what I love the most is to hear from you and what you feel about the topic I wrote about, and how it maybe has played out in your life, or ideas or things that you would like to add to the topic that I wrote about. Just like I came up with this revelation after I had posted it and put it in my email, that the piece about how I don't think we're supposed to have a lifeguard, and maybe we expect it and it causes us fear, but we really aren't supposed to have a lifeguard that saves us. And I came up with that after I wrote it. So I love to hear from you, because lots of times when people read my writings, they will come up with ideas that I didn't think of, and I love to hear them. I love to hear how it plays out in your life. Sometimes people will tell me how it was just what they needed to hear at the moment they needed to hear it. And I think that's the magic of this world, that things come to us when we need to hear them the most. We hear a story or a thought or an idea, or things open up to us when we need to hear it the most, at the moment we need to hear it. And it's the magic. It's the magic of being here in this world, in this life, because that happens so often. I'm seeing a lot of little hearts, and you know, if you don't comment, I don't know who you are. I just see hearts. So, and I love that. Thank you very much. But if you comment, I love to see that too, because I know who is here with me. As I said, it's been a long, busy day, and I didn't want the day to get away from me without being on here and chatting with you tonight. So that is why I popped on here really quickly to talk about this writing and share with you my afterthoughts that I had after I wrote it and after I posted it. And I love these heart-to-hearts, because it really gets beyond what I write. It gets into my heart and into my head, and I share with you, many times I share with you the moment that I started writing it in my head, because usually my writings start in my head. I think about it, ponder it, and knead it like bread dough, in my head for a long time before I sit down, and then when I write, typically I can write it very quickly because it just pours out because I've been thinking about it. And so I love to share with you the moment that that thought came to me, what triggered it, if it was a sign that said, warning, no lifeguard on duty, or if it was an experience or a conversation I heard. It is so many different ways that things come to me that I feel are important to write about. And that's what I love to share in these Pennie heart-to-hearts. So that's why I really love to do them. And when I do these are not edited or perfect, and that's what I love about them too. It's just me. I pop on. I'm usually drinking a cup of tea, which I have right here, and sitting in my home office. When the weather starts to get nicer, I'll be back outside. I did a lot of them last summer outside because I love to be outside. And if I can be by the water, as I said, even better. So with that, I will let you get back to your day. I will get back to my day, my evening, and I hope that you have a glorious evening and a wonderful week ahead. And I hope that you do jump in the water of life this week and experience everything that there is to experience. And don't be afraid and just stand on the side holding a towel, because nobody's there to protect us and guard us from trouble, but it is in those circumstances that we learn the most. So I invite you to jump into life this week and have a great week. This has been Pennie Heart to Heart, and thanks so much for watching.